Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming. This video might be a little different because I don't know how long it's going to be. You also don't get the classic TCA 5 advertising on the mat and in the background, me telling you should use it, Troll and Toad. But in all seriousness, I'm going to show you guys all of these. This is something that I haven't shown you that is still a part of the same consignment. Many items I haven't shown, I've just put straight on eBay. You should really check it out. It's kind of crazy what this guy sent in, but this right here, there's basically all different packs. And so I'm going to show you guys, what else is to come. I haven't decided if I want to sell these in generations, individually, or what I want to do with them. I don't know, it'd be nice if somebody just kind of preserved the collection, want to take all of it, but we're going to start with this. So we're going to start off with the Sun and Moon era. You can see right here, there's all 5 of the Sun and Moon base set packs. There's Guardian Horizon next. That's considered SM2. This set was bought out like crazy because of the Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele was one of the most played cards of all time. Here we have Burning Shadows. This set was super popular because of the hyper rare Charizard GX, and it was a chase card, hard to grade. I remember when it came out, it was $60. That was an insane price for a new card. $60. Think about that. Next up we have Shining Legends, another breakout set. This one has kind of stood the test of time. Got those shining Pokemon in there, and had some other decent stuff, within the set itself, like the hyper rare Mewtwo, the test tube Mewtwo. Next up we have Crimson Invasion, the set that killed so many stores. There's basically nothing in here. It was still very heavily bought because of the success of the previous sets. However, the Ultra Beasts were not ultra good. And consequently, with the next set, Ultra Prism was really short printed. In fact, it was, for the longest time, people suspected it was going to get reprinted. And then it didn't until like way after it was even relevant. So that was kind of weird. And it brought the box prices down to like 150, and then they went back up again. Next up, we have Forbidden Light. Nothing really notable about this set that I can remember. Other than, it wasn't terrible, wasn't that great. Same thing with Celestial Storm. I had that full art Rayquaza EX, but nothing really stand out in that set. Dragon Majesty is our next set. This is one of the in-between sets like Shining Legends. It did have, I believe, a gold Ultra Necrozma GX, but it's probably one of the least productive in-between sets that we've ever had. Let's see, yeah, grab the next one. Lost Thunder. This one was a pretty cool set. It had some decent cards in there. That Lugia was probably my favorite, the full art from that. Maybe it's because, I like the old stuff. Team Up. Now this had some great artworks in it. You had the Snorlax and the Eevee, you had the Venusaur Celebi, you had the Gengar Mimikyu, you had like, I believe the Magikarp, and Wailord. That was another one, and those are really nice. Yeah, these are all packs from just Sun and Moon, and we're going to go through the other generations too, so this may be a long video. We have a single Detective Pikachu pack. There was another one that was a 4 or a 2 card pack, I believe, that was like a gold one, and he may have that somewhere in here, I'm not sure. I know he has a bunch of them because I remember talking with him when he was buying them. Unbroken Bonds, this is one of the best sets that we had. This was one of the only sets that's ever had a really playable Charizard. You had the Reshiram and Charizard GX, which was in 2 of the World Championship decks. And had some other good stuff in there like the Gardevoir and the Sylveon. And this is a very solid set, still sought after today. Next up, not as good of a set, but still really solid. You had Unified Minds. The Mewtwo and Mew was the main hit from this set. Next up, we have Hidden Fates. Probably one of the best sets, literally, of all time. It's just jam-packed with so much stuff. People will want to buy and open this set for a long time. There was a lot of prints of it, but it's still fun to open, Alright, and then the last of the Sun and Moon sets, we had Cosmic Eclipse. Another solid set, not as good as Unbroken Bonds, but it did have a Charizard and Braixen GX in it, if I'm remembering correctly. That should have been the set. It did have the Blastoise and Piplup, had an alternate art, I believe, for that one as well, which was pretty cool. It would have been, yeah, I believe the Charizard, it had an alternate art, but it was not in the set. It was, the full art ended up coming as a tin promo or a box promo. Alright, so now we're going to go back one generation to X and Y. This is one of the... Let me see if I can scoot this back just a little bit. There we go. This was the set that I first started getting like really heavy into, or the first generation I started getting really heavy into buying the newer retail stuff. So we have X and Y base set here. Like classic base sets at the time, it had no secret rares. It had the full arts, had the Blastoise, the Venusaur. I believe there were 6 full arts, but there were no secret rares. Flash Fire did have secret rares. In fact, it had both the Mega Charizard X and the Mega Charizard Y, both in the set and as secret rares, the number 107 and the 108. Really cool set. You know, for the longest time, you could get this stuff super cheap. I mean, you didn't see the normal spikes like you do nowadays. Furious Fist was like, probably like the Crimson Invasion of the X and Y series. It did have a very playable Lucario and a Hawlucha. The Hawlucha was just a regular holo. Lucario was an EX. But other than that, there's not much notable within the Furious Fist set, especially now that, you know, nothing's playable anymore. Phantom Forces. This was the last of the old pull rate type boxes where you were limited to roughly 4 full art or 4 ultra rares per box. This did have a really cool silver Dialga EX card in it. It did have the flares, which probably most of you have no idea what I'm talking about, but it was just these cards with red borders pretty much. And this wasn't too bad of a set. It did have the Mega Gengar EX. It also had as a secret rare. And but other than that, Phantom Forces wasn't that great of a set. It didn't see the same reprints as a lot of others did, and there was probably a reason for that. Alright, so I'm about to grab the next one there. Here we had XY Primal Clash. This was the first set with the new pull rates where they upped it to roughly 6, regular, ultra rares per box or more. And my favorite card was the Mega Primal Groudon EX. Remember that card in the Jumbo? Man, those things sold like crazy. I still remember Target released a bunch of the mini album binders which had 1 pack in them about 3 weeks early before release. I remember grabbing a bunch of those and I had fun. I pulled a Wailord EX full art and a Mega Primal Groudon EX full art out of those 22 packs that I ended up buying. But this is one of my, I used to really like this set. Condition on these old EX sets are pretty bad. Then we had Double Crisis. One of those in-between sets had 34 cards, all I believe 32 of which you could get as both the regular and the reverse holo, but the 2 that you could not were the 2 EX cards. There were only 2 pulls. You could get the Team Magma's Groudon EX and then Team Aqua's Kyogre EX, and then so that made what, sort of 68, 70 cards in the set, and or 66 cards in the set, plus any promos that may have been released some other time. But overall, I believe I remember 1 in 10 packs had an EX in it, and then all the other packs had a regular holo. I believe there were 5 or 6 holos. I can't really remember. All right. Next up, we have X and Y Roaring Skies. Again, this is like the Sun and Moon Garden Rising set of the X and Y era, or the Sun and Moon Garden Rising set of this SM era Sun and Moon, and this is the X and Y area. This because it had the Shaman EX. For the longest time, that card was so playable. And even back then, it reached up to $70, $80, I remember, for the regular art. There were people coming in the store paying $300 a box. And that was when, $300 for a box was like what you could pay to get, 2 jungle boxes. I mean, it was, unlimited. You could probably get 1 jungle box unlimited. I'm thinking wrong era right there. But still, it was kind of crazy for a box that had just recently been in print. And then Pokemon reprinted it. And they went down to $76 a box pretty much for everybody. And they stayed there for a while. Until eventually they did go out of print, and they've made some recovery since then. Let's see if I can get these out of here. There we go. Yeah. Alright, next up we have Ancient Origins. This is a pretty cool set. It had the secret rare of the Primal Groudon EX, had a secret rare Rayquaza or Mega Rayquaza EX, like from Roaring Skies. It had several other cards that were very playable, but nowadays I think people may go for the Lugia. I think that might be that one, and that one in the Mega Rayquaza EX, the gold card. Next up we have XY Breakthrough. This is where we first saw the breaks. Zoroark and Greninja. No, Greninja was Breakpoint. Zoroark was the big one from this one. You could actually get all of the breaks from this set in an upside down backside variant, which was really cool. There were, I believe, 10 different Mewtwo's. You get both versions of the Mewtwo EX as a regular, as a full art, Mega Full Art, Mega Regular EX, and then you could also get both regular EXs in a secret rare, so there was 10 total, which is kind of crazy. I always liked the Houndoom, but it only saw a little bit of playability when there was people running decks to discard cards. Next up we have Breakpoint, and again these also had the breaks. Greninja, Break was the big playable card from this set that I can remember. Some people did run the Mega Gyarados. The Scissor, it only saw playability with Rainbow Road because it was a good counter against that. I can't remember too much else about that set being very memorable or playable. Fighting Fury Belt, I used to like pulling that card. That was really cool. That and Max Elixir, oh man, those were super playable. Alright, next up we have Generations, one of those in-between sets. Of course, everyone knows this set, and it saw a lot of fun. It was it had several things in here that made it appealing, like the Radiant Collection and Mega Charizard. You know, it was the 20th anniversary set. People just, you know, went gaga basically over it. It didn't have Shinings or anything like that, like Shining Legends, but people still like to open up Generations 2 today. Next up we have Fates Collide. I can't really remember anything crazy about it. I know Zygarde was supposed to be a big draw. He really wasn't that big in the game, or at least in the trading card game part of it. There was an Alakazam, Secret Rare, and regular Full Art, but other than that, Fates Collide didn't see too much. It had a regular Holo Lugia, which was kind of cool, but yeah, not that memorable of a step. Steam Siege, this might sound crazy, but when Steam Siege came out, it was very, very popular. I bought so many cases of Steam Siege for players because it had the Professor Sycamore Full Art, and that between that and the Volcanion, it got a lot of sales. However, this set has not stood the test of time, and basically everything in it really has tanked in price because of, I mean, none of the stuff is playable anymore, and they're really not that great of artwork, so there's not much to say about Steam Siege now, but back in the day, it was a very, very popular set. Once it went out of rotation, not so much. Evolution, everybody knows what Evolutions is. We have the, it was like the 20th anniversary reprint. You had the Charizard, or the base set reprint, you had the Charizard and several other cards in here, very iconic. As soon as this thing finally went out of print, we saw prices spike. And for the longest time, people thought it was the longest time a set had been in print, but we're still finding Sun and Moon today, which is a set after Evolution's still in print, and Evolution's been out of print, what, almost a year now or something like that, whereas we still are getting Sun and Moon products. So I would say Sun and Moon has definitely surpassed Evolutions at this point. Alright, now we're going to jump back another generation. Looks like we're already 13 minutes in here. I'll try not to give a ton of information as we go through all of these sets, because as we go back more, I'm probably going to lose more and more information as we go, since I haven't been as active in the hobby for some of these. Alright, so now we go back to Black and White, the very first set. We have Black and White base set. Again, there were no secret rares in this set. I believe it did have 2 full arts, but they weren't your standard full arts, they weren't textured. But the Zekrom and Reshiram, you could get both in a black and like a gray version. I don't know if that was on purpose or if it was to represent the Black and White. Next up we have Emerging Powers, one of the worst sets of all time. But again, back in the day, it was a popular set to open because of the Pokemon Catcher. This was where it eventually did get an errata, but it was like a gust of wind. And that is a very powerful card, but eventually it got to where I think you had to discard a card or flip a coin or something like that. And then, you know, later on they come out with Lysander in Flashfire, where it becomes a supporter. But as an item, being able to play that with, you know, as many times as you want was kind of crazy. We've got Noble Victories here. Remember, pull rates back in these sets was really bad. You're talking about like 1 to 2 full arts per box or something like that. Next Destinies, I remember buying a box of this, opening up, pulled 2 regular EXs and 1 full art EX, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I just did that. But this set had the Mewtwo EX, which was very, very, very playable. Played by a lot of people, sought after, it was popular. So you can only imagine. Dark Explorers, a fun set to open, had a lot of cool cards in it. The Darkrai EX Full Art was also very playable. Had some cards in here that Eventually saw some bannings, I believe, like the Sableye with the junk, was it Junk Arm? I believe that's what it was. Between that and Dark Patch and several other cards, it made for some very powerful mechanics, not only then, but later on down the road as well. We have Dragons Exalted here. One of the sets from Black and White that stayed in print for a long time. I still remember when I was buying X and Y boxes, I could get Dragons Exalted packs in bulk from my distributor for $2. Alright, we have Dragon's Vault. I believe this was a 21 card set. You had one secret rare that you could go for. When you get 5 cards in a pack, you can imagine how hard, really that is. It's not that hard to get the entire set. It's just that one secret rare, which I believe was Kyurem, that people go for. Boundaries Cross also had another very playable card, the Keldeo EX. It was very quick, very swift. We saw it in several World Championship decks over multiple years. Plasma Storm. I really like the Articuno and the Lugia EX that was in the set. As we go through some of these sets, I don't remember too much about the playability. I believe I was just beginning to get into the box openings and stuff like that. We have Plasma Freeze here. This was a very popular set. The Deoxys EX was super expensive when it came out. I remember it was similar to what we just saw in Evolving Skies. There was a lot of people who had these really miscut full arts, and you could get basically every card, that way. Next up, Plasma Blast. This set stayed in print for the longest time as well. The secret rares were not that great. I believe it was like a Execute, a Virizion. Those might have been the two, and there might have been some other ones too. But other than that, the Plasma Blast, really I believe the only draw was the Genesect, and people played the crap out of that one. I don't think it actually saw much tournament success, or it might have. I can't remember the World Championship decks from that year. Next up, we have Legendary Treasures. I believe this was the first set to introduce the new really cool high pull rates with the Radiant Collection. The Mew EX was a reprint of the first print of the Mew from Dragons Exalted with the Versatile. Maybe that was a card that I was missing that was really cool and very popular. But you can see it again here in this set as one of the Radiant Collection pulls. Alright, so that finishes off, yeah, there we go, that finishes off Black and White. So for those of you who like these sets, I might be selling those as complete sets. I'll go back through and make sure that every set's there. I could have easily missed something. But, it's pretty tough to get all of these sets complete, and, this guy's really already done it for you. Alright, so now let's move on to Generation 4. So we're going to start off with Diamond and Pearl. This is kind of when I was getting back into Pokemon pretty much full swing. You got Diamond and Pearl base set right here. What I can tell you is this. I remember packs back then, they were about $2 a piece. You could get them readily anytime you wanted for about $2 a piece. And it was a lot of fun opening this stuff up, going to Target or Walmart or wherever when I was traveling back and forth from college with my buddies, coming home, see my girlfriend, that kind of stuff. And we'd just stop by and grab a 10 Mewtwo Level X, have 4 packs in it. You'd find them on sale for $15, and then you just open it and just have fun with it. And you've got a lot of big cards that are shown through here. Me kind of going over that story, I guess I skipped over some of it, like the Charizard, from the Secret Wonders or whatever. But I had a lot of fun with it, and I hope that some of you guys get to experience that, with the new sets that are coming out. Maybe you have stories like this a decade from now. All right, so there's Great Encounters. One of the less popular sets, that Cresselia was pretty expensive when it came out. Majestic Dawn had a lot of evolution stuff going on there. Put a lot of extra emphasis on the E in the evolutions. It's my southern, well, probably more redneck hick accent coming out. Alright, here we go. We've got Legends Awakened. I remember when this set came out, you could really start to tell that Pokemon was starting to gain some steam and to pick back up. I had a lot of fun opening these sets up and building decks. Never went to tournaments and played, but I played with my buddies while we were there at college. Here we've got Stormfront. This is one of the last Diamond and Pearl sets. I remember you could buy pretty much full swing as much as you wanted from distributors, even through the early XY era. Got Platinum base set. I believe we saw the emergence of different types of secret rares. I know we had the Rotoms somewhere in here. You got Platinum Arceus. You had a 9-card secret rare set for that one. Let me get the rest of those. Next up we have, now I did skip a few sets there because he has some of these other sets in blister form. So we're going to have a few sets that we do skip over. We have Heart Gold, Soul Silver. This is where you saw the legends or the half arts, as people want to call them now. You've got, you know, that four-way art type thing going, you know, with the V unions. Got Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Undaunted. Had a lot of primes coming up through these sets as well. Mew Prime is probably one of the only primes that he'll have really good value. I mean, I believe there's a Gengar, there's an Umbreon. You know, there's some pretty popular Pokemon in there. For a while, you could actually buy all of the primes for $30, and there was like 27 of them. You could buy full sets. It was like super easy to do so. All right, so we kind of just, you know, breezed straight through the Diamond and Pearl era because I'm not even halfway through the video, and I can tell you I'm already starting to get a little exhausted. So I'm going to move a little faster just so you guys can see this stuff, because I know some of you are waiting to see what's over here to the left. You know, some of the more rare WotC era stuff. We have EX Ruby and Sapphire there. This is all Generation 3. You've got Sandstorm. E-readers were still present on all these cards up through Dragon. And you did have some miscellaneous prints where you didn't have, you know, the e-readers actually printed on the cards, but that was usually in trainer kits that were later printed. You got Team Magma, Team Aqua. This is the last of the regular reverse holo type packs during the EX era. They switched over to a parallel holo in EX Hidden Legends, which I really like. I wish they would bring that back. I think that was so cool. You know, Fire Red, Leaf Green. Of course, it has its big chase card, the Charizard EX. Back in the day when I was first getting back into it, around 2007, 2008, Charizard EX was about the same price as a regular Charizard first edition from base set. EX Team Rocket Returns, one of the biggest, you know, sets of all time that people just, I mean, they just enjoy opening. They like seeing the cards in there. It has the Rockets, Mewtwo, Snorlax, you know, all that stuff. Here we have, also has the Gold Star. The introduction of the Gold Stars, you have Mudkip, Torchic, and Trico. Here we have EX Deoxys, has the most expensive, or you have the potential to pull the most expensive Gold Star that's out there, at least in English, and that's the Deoxys EX. Here we have EX Emerald. We've opened up plenty of those packs here on the channel. Next up, EX Unseen Forces. Order might be out on a few of these. I can't remember too well, but they had a lot of cool EXs in that one, like the Umbreon. I know that was one of them. You have Legend Maker here. You have the Mew EX. Delta Species. Had a lot of cool Delta Species. I believe the Flareon in here was, no, Flareon was a Gold Star in Power Keepers. Holland Phantoms. This has your Crystal Charizard. See, it's got all the artworks there. You have the red Gyarados Gold Star. Crystal Guardians is next. No, Crystal Guardians has that Charizard. Sorry, Holland Phantoms did not. Yeah, this is where the Charizard is, and it's not a Gold Star. It's just an electric type Charizard, but it's a Crystal Charizard. You can see all the different artworks there. I know it seems crazy just to, you know, blaze through this stuff, but got to get through all of it. Dragon Frontiers, this is where you saw the Charizard Gold Star, and so, you know, that's the big Gold Star chase if you're, you know, going through these EX series. Dragon Frontiers is where you're going to get it. And then last, we finished off with Power Keepers, which had, I believe it was the Jolteon, the Flareon. I don't think it was, it might have been Vaporeon. I can't remember everything. All right, so that's Generation 3. Now we're going to move back to Generation 2. And let's see what we have here. I'm going to show you guys. Might be a little bit weird on the order here because I put first edition packs over here, and then this is kind of like unlimited and different miscellaneous. So first we start off with Neogenesis. You guys have seen these packs open up many times here on the channel. Lugia, Typhlosion, Feraligatr, all of those are really big pulls. But of course there's other items that you can pull within the set as well. People just like it because it's the start of, you know, Generation 2. Neo Discover, we just recently opened up several of these. We had an Espeon and an Umbreon pulled. But Yanma is ironically the big chase card if you're going for PSA 10, but Umbreon is snuck right up there, you know, kind of close with it. Neo Rev, so many chase cards in this one, but, you know, we would probably say that if you're looking for the PSA 10, the Ampharos is going to, the Ampharos or the Blissey would be up top. If you're just looking for popularity, then you're probably checking out the Shining Gyarados or the Shining Magikarp. Now we have Neo Destiny. This has the introduction of the Shinings. You can see all of these are first edition packs. And, you know, Shining Charizard is what you want, but really any Shining is going to be something that people go for. And just so that we make sure to show everything for Generation 2, I'm going to skip over here and grab some unlimited packs. And then we'll swap back over. So first we have the Legendary Collection. You can see those 4 right here. For the longest time, this was a set nobody wanted. But you know what? It is since proven to be one of the scarcest sets out there, and also most popular. It had the introduction of the reverse hollows, and it had its own unique type of reverse foil that we haven't seen since. People call it the Firework Hollow. It has a Charizard in it. It has a reverse hollow Charizard in it. It also has a non-hollow theme deck Charizard. It has a lot of really cool cards. But all of them are reprints, other than I think they stuck in a Mewtwo, the number 12 promo. So that was kind of a different. Here we go. We've got the introduction of the e-reader cards with Expedition base set. Personally, one of my most favorite sets out there has the Charizard Hollow in it. The Mewtwo artwork is my favorite artwork of any of the cards that are out there. A lot of really cool cards. It did change over the reverse hollow pattern to the standard reverse hollow that we know of. Next up we have Aquapolis. Now this set introduced something else additional. This introduced crystals. And we had 3 crystals. You had the Kingdra, Neo King, and the Lugia. And it was, honestly, everybody goes for that Lugia, but there's a lot of really cool cards in Aquapolis. And of the 3 e-reader sets, is generally regarded as the probably the least. It used to be Expedition, but I think Expedition is valued a little bit more than the Aquapolis now just because of the Charizard. And then we have Skyridge, which is probably one of the most sought after packs, you know, period. It has 6 crystals in it, but it also has the introduction of the crystals in reverse hollow. And it does have a crystal Charizard, which we have pulled here on this channel. We saw it get a 10, and then we've also seen one recently just go to auction. So this is a fun set to open. So like even if you don't have a hollow pack, you could pull a reverse hollow crystal, which is really cool. All right, so that's it for Generation 2. Put these up. Now I'm going to back it up and I'm going to show you guys Generation 1, what he has in this collection. And then I'm also going to show you some of the extra stuff that's unlimited and, you know, just some random packs, and I'll give you information on that. So this right here, this is actually all 3 of the first edition base set packs. He got these from Troll and Toad or Troll and Toad Break. Still has the seal on it, and they were weighed there. And the Charizard art is guaranteed to have a heavy, so it's guaranteed to be, or to have a hollow. And so it's still sealed there, has the signature seal on it. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that yet, but it is set aside. Next up, we have a complete set of long packs. So what I mean by long tab packs is these are those little hanger tab packs that were not put into blisters, but they were meant to hang on their own. And you can see right here, here's base set. This was only done on Unlimited. So I'm going to show you these first, and then we'll get into the other first edition packs. You have Jungle there. You have all 3 Fossil. Yeah, if there's somebody out there who wants to collect packs, but they don't want to have to put in the work of basically assembling all this, this is perfect for you. We have base set 2, but it would be very expensive, and you would probably need to contact me immediately before I start listing these. Next up, we have Team Rocket, long tab. And then the last 2 sets were Gym Heroes, and then we also had Gym Challenge. Now, I hope that I've been halfway centering this stuff up for you guys here in this video, because if I haven't, I apologize. Sometimes I get focused on talking and looking at the packs myself rather than looking through the camera to see what I'm showing you guys. Let's see what we have here. Alright, so I've shown you base. Here's his Jungle First Edition. Got Fossil First Edition, set number 3. With when Fossil come out, that finished off Generation 1. And then after that, they basically rinsed and repeated with the same Pokemon until they went to Generation 2. However, with Team Rocket, you had Dark. With Gym Heroes, you had the introduction of different gym leaders, and the same thing with Gym Challenge. Different gym leaders, ones that you would, I guess, consider bad. Not always bad, but, you know, when you put Giovanni in there, you know, Sabrina versus Brock and Erica, that kind of stuff. Generally, it's considered like in a bad annotation. Bad light. Alright, next up, he does have Black Triangle packs. You can see right there. You guys have seen these several times. Most of you probably know the story. Basically, they were printing unlimited packs unlimited cards inside, but they put a first edition stamp on there. So instead of destroying all the packs, they're like, hey, let's just print a black triangle over the first edition stamp and send them out through production anyways. And that was only done on a short amount of boxes, and they're pretty rare. They're not super rare. And you can actually see evidence right here where the first edition stamp was being covered up. Because inside of here are regular unlimited cards. There's not first edition cards actually inside. Another variation, these right here, these are actually considered dark packs. I don't know if you could tell, but the color itself is, let's see if I can find, well, it's darker than normal packs. Let's see if, oh yeah, I got them right here. All right, so you've got regular dark packs, and then you have these lighter packs. Just a variation that some collectors like to do. And this is actually 1999 2000 packs. If you couldn't tell from the type of color and print, it is a little bit different than the light packs. It's like it has had more exposure or something like that. You can always tell because they have long crimps, and these in particular on the back are actually Polish ones, which are to me a little bit more rare. I believe these were confirmed to have 1999 2000 dated hollows or a higher rate of them. Also, the logos are curved, and you have the Nintendo seal, plus if you lift up that flap, that should say 1999 2000. You can kind of see the difference right there. So there are many different differences that can help you identify whether or not you have 1999 2000 base set packs or not. Alright, next up, let's see what he has for Jungle. Alright, so these right here, it's just regular Jungle Unlimited. This is Jungle No Symbol, so this probably comes from a confirmed No Symbol box. And then right here we have red logos, which is the Australian variation. That was done to prevent counterfeiting, and it was done both on the Jungle, and you can get it in Fossil as well. Alright, next up with Fossil we have, let's see, we've got 3 packs here. It gives the weight. We haven't seen too much of that. Then we have 3 regular packs here. Doesn't say anything about weight there. So I don't think there's anything different between those two, just maybe those were weighed out. And then you have the Fossil red logos, which for these you actually want light packs so that you can get the rares, which will have 1999 2000 dated copyrights. However, if you did get a holo in these, they don't have the 1999 2000 dates on them. They just have the regular 1999 dates. So this is one of the few packs that you would actually want to have light, as in you don't want to pull a holo because the rare is going to be worth way more. I mean, I guess if you pulled a holo Dragonite and graded a 10, you know, that's going to compete. Here we go. We have base set 2. We have Team Rocket. Isn't it crazy? This guy, he has all these packs assembled. Let's see what we have here. We're getting down to the last bit of what he has. There's a few more long gym heroes. I think those are duplicate lights. Here we have Gym Challenge. This is the non-long tab. We have Neo Discovery. You can see he's missing the Neo Genesis Unlimited. And he has 3 Neo Rev. He's missing one of those artworks and missing the Neo Destiny for Unlimited. If he's like me, once you get almost close to completing something, sometimes I get a little bored and I just kind of stop. It sounds terrible, but it's like I want to complete everything, but then when I get to the end, it's like it's not much of a priority anymore. Looks like we have 4 regular Gym Heroes packs, and these maybe were pulled from a box break, so he has that seal on there. Now, I didn't see any difference, but he has 4 Plasma Blast packs. We've already seen those. A Guardians Rising one, I think this is a holo variant. He has Champions Path. He has 3 of those. So I believe he does have some of the Sword and Shield era packs, but he didn't send those just because of the price. Okay, there's another Champions Path right there, and some Rebel Clash. And then to finish it off with some of the more rare packs, well, these aren't that rare right here. This is one of those cereal packs, or it was, no, this is a McDonald's pack. He also has Series 1 and Top Series 5. Top Series 5, super hard to get because this is where you can pull the Umbreon or the Espeon Gold Star. They're not weighable. You get 2 cards, and it's estimated that 1 in 40 of these packs will contain one of those Gold Stars. Those are very, very expensive. Next up we have a web pack. You can see right there it's Japanese, so it's probably the only Japanese pack here. Creator pack. I believe there was 5,000 of these made. You get 5 cards inside. It does include a Pikachu, which is pretty rare. I believe there's only 8 PSA 10s of that card in the world. Wouldn't be terribly hard to grade, but then again, there's not a ton of them out there. And then last but not least, we have an E3 pack, which inside should have a Hoppip, a Pichu, a Kirby card, and a Mr. Game & Watch. And that these are pretty rare. I mean, they're hard to find, that's for sure. The Pichu and the Hoppip are going to be more sought after. They have an English front with a Japanese back. You guys may have seen it in my personal collection before, but the sealed pack itself is really tough to find nowadays. I'm not sure what it's worth. It's probably... I'm not even going to put a number on it just in case I'm off, but it's probably one of the most expensive packs that you've seen here. Anyways, guys, I know it's a very long video, and I only showed you packs. That's all I did. This is going to be stuff that will come up for sale unless somebody wants to buy it all at once, which would be really cool. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and please let me know if you have any questions.